Okay, weekly review. Um, okay, let me see if I can switch. Uh, let me see if I can switch this. Okay, let's do this one, right? Yeah. Okay, I need these ones here. Okay, let's go to Bitcoin dominance. Um, I need to so let's go on the weekly chart on Bitcoin dominance and see what's doing. Okay. So this is not good because Bitcoin dominance keeps going up. I was hoping that this candle will be our stop. There is a divergence between here and here, and this point and that point. So that weekly divergence is still in play. But it looks like we're potentially going for higher fast before coming down. If we go to the daily chart, you can see here, if you look at the MACD energy and the energy here, it's really, really small. So there's a there's a huge, if you kind of get rid of this stick here, then you say, okay, this is the energy that took us here. And it looks like we've gone 62.27, and this is 62.23, 62.14. So we don't we don't seem to have gone higher, but I think we probably end up going higher. This probably goes slightly higher. Um, just pokes above and then comes down. I still would expect dominance to break down in the coming week because we even on the daily chart we are getting towards zero on MACD. So if I make this bigger, see we're still ticking towards zero. So I think the topping out is it's coming, but it's just taking a bit of time. So that's Bitcoin dominance. I think this week, I think today it will go up, and then into Monday, maybe Tuesday, we start kind of seeing Bitcoin dominance kind of falling away, and then the altcoins can go. So let's go to Bitcoin itself and see what Bitcoin is doing. Uh, let's make this bigger. So weekly chart, let's look at the weekly chart first. Okay. And so what we're forming on the weekly chart is very good. So we clearly got a rejection of lower price candle here. But for me, these lines that I've drawn are areas for pullback. So wherever we close this week, I expect this to pull back in. And I think we'll probably pull back between 80,000 and 78,000. Between 80,000 and 78,000, that's fine. And the reason why I say that, if I go to the 8-hour chart, um, if I go to the 8-hour chart, we can see, well, let me just switch it off. If I go to the 8-hour chart, what you can see is, I think is it 8 hours or is it, no, it's on the 4 hours, sorry. So on the 4-hour chart, you can see that we've got this pink candle here, this pink candle. Let me just move this down a bit. And this pink candle sitting at 79,026 will be exceeded. So, it has to be exceeded. That's the norm before we kind of start going up. And this MACD is sticking zero. So this is just a retest really of the 50. And then you come down, you continue to come down. So I'd expect this to continue to come down to Bitcoin to come and exceed this pink candle and maybe somewhere there 78K, 77K, even 77K is fine. All the way up to I think 77.4, it's okay. It's okay. So if we don't go below 76K, then it's cool. I'm happy. I'm happy with that. So that's what I would expect to see on Bitcoin. I don't want to see us go high here and go for higher prices. If we do that, that won't be good. If we did that, that won't be good because then we'll come even for way lower prices than anticipated. So that's what I'm seeing on Bitcoin. I think we will have a pull back in and then we go up. So that's Bitcoin. If we go and look at some of the coins that let me look at UMA, for example. So UMA on the weekly chart, I think the week will still end green. I think we'll end green on the weekly chart. And then we'll probably have a bit of a pullback to about, I would say, somewhere here, 110, I'd say 109, somewhere there. I think we'll get a pullback to that zone. If we look at the daily chart, so we've had this bullish candle, and we've had a retest, and we are above zero. So this is looking positive. The chart looks very positive on the daily chart, but I do still think that there is a small pullback first before we actually get going like proper crazy. Because if Bitcoin is going to pull back down, then of course UMA is also going to pull back down. It's just the way it is. So that's what I'm seeing at the moment on UMA. But I wouldn't expect us to exceed 105. I don't think we exceed 105. I think we may be, even if we come low, might be a double bottom type scenario. Maybe, I think. So that's what I'm seeing on UMA at the moment. And then if we go to tier, let's go and have a look at tier. Where is tier? Tier is here. Okay. So tier on the daily chart, we've got this beautiful candle, bullish candle here. So we've got this beautiful bullish candle here on the daily chart. And I think with these candles, always, if it's not followed by another one, chances are you come back down. Similarly, I mean, some typical example is here. You have this bullish candle here, followed by a red candle. You go up slightly, you come back into it, right? So I'm expecting us to get back here. Actually, I'm expecting us to get back to somewhere here, to 270, 280, I think will be the minimum. I think I would expect us to come to 280, ideally, before we kind of start really going again. But the weekly chart is looking good. So I think the weekly is going to close positive, to close green. And then what is left is just to pull back in to somewhere here to there. So this zone here, anything within this zone is okay. If we go below 280, that's not good. If we go below 280 on the pullback, then it means we're going to go way lower. We probably end up going lower than this 235. So that's what I'm seeing. But it's looking really positive on this weekly chart. Really, really positive. So that's tier is looking good. Then let's look at Pepe briefly. So Pepe on the weekly chart is also looking good. So we will probably close the week on a triple red, which means what is left is going to be probably, a retest of the wick, maybe. But the thing with Pepe is, okay, we do have a divergence on a weekly chart. So we have a divergence. If we go, if honestly, if we go below 524, then we're heading all the way down here, which is 115 maybe, which is where we'll be heading to 11617. So, but I don't think we'll get there because this week is likely to be positive, which means even if we come down, it will be just a retest of the week, and then off we go. So Pepe is also looking good. Let's go and have a look at AAVE. So AAVE, unfortunately, this is not a good chart. This is not a good weekly chart, which means there's more downside on AAVE. And I think, yeah, there's more downside on this chart. So it's not looking positive like the TL or or like the UMA trade. So yeah, it's not looking too good. Yeah, we may have a bounce, but yeah, there's more downside because of the dead cross also incoming as well. So we have a dead cross incoming. You can rally into it, but you're going to come back lower. So this one is not looking too strong for me on the weekly chart. And if I do a count, where's the highest point? Even on the daily chart, that's the highest point. Okay, this is one, and this is two, and this is three. Okay, so we had our three, and this is the fourth one. So on the yeah, on the daily, yeah, the daily seem to have done what it needs to do, but it's not reflected on the weekly chart yet. So maybe the weekly chart will close and become an inverted hammer. I want to find an inverted hammer, which is like here. So it could be like that, an inverted hammer. So we could close something like this, and then reverse back up. So I think on the daily it looks good, but on the weekly didn't look too good to me. And then let's go into Solana. So Solana is on the weekly chart. It's looking good again. It's looking good. We may end up having a triple green, hopefully. If we don't, then this will be green and this will be green. And we've come to the Bollinger Band. This is the Bollinger Band, and we've kind of be bouncing off the Bollinger Band. If it holds like this tonight, midnight, then it's positive. But I won't be surprised if we end up here 93, 95. I won't be surprised at all. If we end up 95, I won't be surprised. Let's look at the daily chart and see if you can tell us a bit more. So we've got yeah, so we've got this point here. So we've got that's one drop, that's two. So potentially there's one more left. Yes. So potentially there's one more left for this for Solana. I think we could get another zip to the downside. 90, 95. I think it's potentially possible. A zip, and then it will be zip back up. Solana maybe a bit more, but if you bought some here, it's not too bad. I mean, 120, and it goes to 95. You buy another one. It's not too bad. Render is coming to our box of interest. You know, it's coming. And if I look on the weekly chart, this is good. This looks really good. This looks very good. Let me look at it on the Coinbase, on the Coinbase one here. Yeah, so this is good. This is good. It's coming to the box, perfectly in the box. So I think yeah, we may have a pullback into the box of around maybe 285 again, another 285. If I just bring this box now, let me move this thing now to 285, 285, 280, even it's here, somewhere here. If we come back in somewhere here, even all the way up to here, let's move it down. Yeah, even up to here is fine. If we come into that point, 280, and get support, that's it. No more falling um, on on render. We are way outside the Bollinger Band. So at the very least, I would expect us to get back into the band and test some higher prices. So yeah, we've gone way outside the Bollinger Band. So It's way oversold. So it's looking good as well. There's a divergence on the weekly chart. So, I like this one too. Um, and then if we go on to dot, dot on the weekly chart, it's also looking good. We like what we see on the weekly chart. It's like a bottom here, a bottom here, a bottom here. I don't think this is going to go below 356. No, it's not. It's just a huge support. So I think again it comes back into it somewhere here. Let me move this. I'm not going to move that because that line is quite important. So let's just move that here. And then let's say we get something back in the middle here. And then that's it. So it's looking good. Dot. It's also looking good. Let's move on to Ethereum. Yeah, Ethereum. I was always expecting Ethereum in the box. It's come in the box. 1700. It's come in the box again. But Ethereum is not looking good. This chart looks bearish. It's not good at all. Unless something changes overnight, this chart is not strong. It looks weak to me. I mean, the volume of selling is declining and declining and declining, which is good. But I won't be surprised if we hit 1650 on Ethereum before we go up. I won't be surprised. It's not looking strong enough for me at the moment. I mean, this is good. This is good. We've exceeded the pink candle, so that's good. But on the higher time frame, Ethereum looks, yeah. So yeah, there's a pink candle here. You see, on 4 hours, this will be exceeded. This candle will be exceeded. So I would expect us to come back below 1750 and to maybe 1650, 1670. That sort of zone, I would expect that before we go anywhere. So okay, so that's Ethereum. Um, and then Pendle, because I like Pendle as well. I just have a quick look at Pendle. Pendle on the weekly chart is looking good. Again, it's looking really, really good. Looks good to me here. This pink candle here sits at 1792. Did we hit 1792? No, no, we didn't. So unfortunately, I think you'll come back in again. You'll come back and exceed it. So I'm gonna leave this line where it is. Yeah, I think we'll come back into it before we go up. So, this would have been a good buying opportunity if I had my funds available. Um, so that one a bit more falling, but it's also looking good. It's looking good. Um, and say it's another one that I want to track. So let's have a quick look at that one. Weekly chart is looking good. Yes, it's looking good. So we've come there, we've come lower. The RSI is still higher. Come here, go on here, RSI is higher. If I make it bigger, this point and that point is higher. So we have a divergence on the weekly chart. And I think this will probably hold, which means you can have higher prices. This candle here was always sitting there at 0.2193. And guess what? We exceeded it. These pink candles, when they appear on the charts, at some point they have to be exceeded. So if you're patient enough, you always make a lot of money. Okay, so I think that's it in terms of the coins that I wanted to kind of review. And so summary, Bitcoin, chances are we come back to between 77,000 and 79,000 before we head up. If we start going up from here, that is not going to be good. So my view is that 4 hour candle will be exceeded. That 4 hour pin candle, which is sitting here, will be exceeded first before we go up. So we've already had a run and we need to come back and exceed it. So that's a wrap for the week and quick, short and snappy as well. So let's stop recording this.